Welcome. In this short video, I will demonstrate how to purchase a new domain name in IBM Cloud. I will then configure DNS to use my new domain as the base domain for an OpenShift cluster I will be deploying in VSphere. Here is a high-level overview of what I'm going to do. First, I will register a new domain name using IBM Cloud. Next, I will update the DNS records of my new domain to point to two virtual IP addresses that will be used to route traffic to my OpenShift cluster. Lastly, I will run the DAFI scripts to deploy my OpenShift cluster in VSphere. Please note, this is a demonstration of the VSphere IPI approach. IPI stands for Installer Provisioned Infrastructure. There are lots of places that you can register domain names, such as GoDaddy, Domain.com, Bluehost, as well as IBM. Companies that allow you to buy domain names are referred to as domain name registrars. We will be using IBM as our domain name registrar for this demo. Just note that these same steps will work with any registrar you choose. I've logged into the IBM Cloud, and I'm going to look up the domain name registration service. Here is where we will register our new domain. First, we need to verify that the domain that I want is actually available. And since it is, I'll go ahead and purchase the domain. Now that I have my domain, I need to configure DNS to route traffic to VSphere, which is where I will be deploying my OpenShift cluster. I have selected two IP addresses on VSphere that are currently not in use. I will set these IP addresses in the DAFI environment variables so that they can be used by the OpenShift IPI installer to configure the API and the ingress VIP. As you can see, the API VIP provides a single IP address to route traffic to the master nodes. The ingress VIP will be used to route traffic to the worker nodes. I have logged into the IBM Cloud and will navigate to the classic infrastructure dashboard. From there, I will select Services and then Domain Registration. Here is where I will configure two DNSA records to point to the IP addresses in VSphere that will be used by the installer to configure the OpenShift API and ingress VIP. Now that I have DNS configured, I'm ready to deploy OpenShift. I will be using the DAFI scripts to deploy OpenShift, but there's nothing special to the setup of DNS for the use of DAFI. These same steps can be used to deploy OpenShift using the OpenShift IPI installer or the DAFI scripts. There are four variables that need to be set in the DAFI environment file. I will set the base domain to the domain name we purchased in IBM Cloud. I will also set the install type to VSphere IPI. Lastly, I need to set the API and the ingress IP addresses that we reserved for use by the VIPs. I've included a picture of the environment variables that I use to perform my install using the DAFI scripts. I will now run the DAFI OCP build.sh script, passing in the name of my environment file. The Daffy installer has completed my install, and as you can see from the script logs, the URL for my console does in fact show that it's using my new domain name as the base of the URL. I am now ready to deploy a Cloud Pak. Thanks for watching.